What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about this ongoing discussion. Is Black Ops 6 the worst Call of Duty game we've ever seen? This, to me, straight off the bat, seems like a lot of hyperbole, a lot of exaggeration. First off, many people saying this are not even Prestige 1 yet. How can you be an expert on something, or how can you have an opinion, like a full-on opinion on something, when you're not even at least, like, partially of the way done? Second thing, this game is nowhere near done. Okay, this game came out 2 days ago. There's probably going to be an update in like 5 days that might change everything you're complaining about. So to say things like this, like so hyperbole, like worst COD ever and stuff like that, I just can't really get on board with it, man. I just can't get on board. Maybe if the game's near completion, right? All the DLC content's out, all the updates are done, and we've played on it, you've played on it for, you know, at least, I don't know, like a couple hundred hours or something like that. Yeah, sure, maybe then you can play it, you know, maybe like 5-6 days of playtime. Yeah, okay, you can say it's a terrible game, bad game, whatever. It just doesn't vibe with me, you know, whatever. I'm not trying to come off as like, you know, a shill or whatever. I really don't think I am. And I'm not even saying that this game's amazing. This game is nowhere near amazing. But I got some tweets from Blame Truth here, and this is no shade at Blame Truth, okay? I like his content. I like the guy. He's a good dude. He's a shelter pet advocate, you know, like he's a good dude at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, we're still talking about video games. You know, who really cares at the end of the day? You stupid. But I really just can't agree with some of the stuff he's been saying. So I got a couple of tweets here I want to post on screen, and let's just go through them. By the way, if you're new, if you enjoy the content, I post Call of Duty Black Ops 6 pretty much. I'm going to be posting pretty much every day till the end of the year. Maybe I'll miss a couple days here and there, every day or every other day. So yeah, subscribe and get that content in your sub box every day. All right, so he goes on to say, I'm so torn on Black Ops 6. Prestige is back and the Prestige rewards look sick, per Nero Cinema's vid. Finally some stuff we can earn in-game and not pay for. Yes, I agree. Good stuff. I don't think it's like stand up and clap worthy, but yeah, it's good stuff. We're finally hearing some positive things about a Call of Duty game, which is not something we can say very often. The gunplay is superb. The movement is nice, if not a little janky and slippery still. Also agree, I think the gunplay is very nice. I think the time to kill and the hit detection is still a little iffy, but like the movement, like he says, is still, it's good. It's got a learning curve for sure. I'm not gonna proclaim to be an expert on it after like a day of playing. I'm not even Prestige 1 yet, so I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert. But I do think that the movement is nice. It offers something new to the game, to the franchise. He says, then you have the worst maps I've ever played on. That I can't agree with, okay? The worst maps you've ever played on is in Modern Warfare 2019. I understand that, you know, the maps in this game are such a hot, divided topic, and it seems like more and more people are leaning towards them not being good. Myself included. I don't think that they're amazing maps. I don't want to get it twisted, okay? They are not amazing maps. For those of you guys who are like half paying attention right now, they are not good maps. They are also not the worst maps we've ever played. That is not true, okay? There are countless maps from Call of Duty Ghosts, from Modern Warfare 2022, Modern Warfare 2, I guess 2022, easily take the case of like unbearably boring maps. I would rather get thrown in these cluster F maps than sprint for like 3 million miles before I see my next enemy. Okay, like it's not even close. Like, yes, these maps are too small. Yes, the spawns are pretty bad, but it's much preferred than a map from Call of Duty Ghosts. Most maps from Call of Duty Ghosts. Okay, let's put it that way.
Wow. No, that's good.
He goes on to say the spawn system only amplifies this. It's Bush League trash. How awful it is. Yes, I agree with this. I think that they're bad. They're definitely improved from the beta, so I'll give them that, and that means that there's probably at least some form of like improvement and some form of like patches on the way when it comes to the rest of the spawns, so I'm gonna give them time on that. SBMM has been cranked up to infinity. The game is unplayable solo. This I also agree with, okay? For the most part, he's saying a lot of things that are not wrong, okay? But they are a little hyperbole, a little yeah, a little hyperbole, okay, a little exaggerated. Maybe it's for the clicks, maybe it's for the views, whatever, but yes, they are a little hyperbole. Yes, SBMM is cranked up. I know good players way better than me are not having fun with this game and would not have fun playing solo. Packet burst and loss is still an issue, makes the game feel bad for every mode, from campaign to zombies. This I don't experience as much. I think like out of my, I don't know, 40 something levels of playing, I've probably had like one game where packet burst was like really bad, so I can't really agree to this, but I know I'm not going to say that that's like not a thing that happens overall. Just me personally, it hasn't happened to me. I know it's happened to other people though. I'm not excusing it. He says, I try to look for positives this year, but the core foundation of the game are new levels of bad and it ruins everything else, blah, blah, blah. What a waste of 4 years. I can't quite say it's a waste. It is fresh stuff. It is new stuff. It might not be the best stuff, but it is good stuff, okay? He goes on to say in a tweet yesterday, or I guess 2 days ago when you guys are watching this, I say this with no exaggeration after some more time on it, Black Ops 6 is the worst effing shooter I've ever played. I'd rather play Modern Warfare 2 while Mike Tyson uses my scrotum as a speed bag. Yeah, I can't get on board with this. Let's go on to see what he says. One-on-one gunfights do not exist. Map flow does not exist. Strategy outside of spawn trapping and Dom does not exist. TTK consistency, one single match without packet burst. Game is fast. You call in streaks and throw down equipment like an old man. Visibility is poor. Yes, okay, let's get into this paragraph first. One-on-one gunfights do not exist. Not honestly sure what he means by that. Does it just mean because people spawn together that you never see like one person at a time? If that's the case, I kind of agree with that. But when it comes to one-on-one, maybe he's talking about the fact that it's like eliminations versus kills. I don't really know what that means. Map flow does not exist. I think what he's basically saying with that is that like on the super small maps, it's basically you're at the whim of spawns and you can get spawn trapped. Like he says in the next sentence, if you're on a bad team or you're facing a team of sweats, you'll easily get spawn trapped and obviously not have a whole lot of fun. I'm not going to say that map flow doesn't exist fully. I will say that the smaller the map, the harder it is to have this. You don't really need this in certain game modes, I guess, like or certain maps, I guess. So like for instance, Babylon. Yeah, you're not gonna have map flow. That's like asking for map flow on shipment. Okay, like yeah, it's not worth it. You're not gonna have it. Basically, the problem is that a lot of these maps are shipment, and so when you have everything be shipment or Nuketown, yeah, you're not gonna have any map flow. It's just a camo grinding level up simulator, basically what we're playing. But that's honestly what most of the COD community wants at this point. You know, if it wasn't, then why is everyone playing shipment 24/7? Why is everyone playing shoot house 24/7, right? So when it comes down to it, they got to do what's best for what everyone wants. So in theory, everybody should like this. Now, obviously it doesn't work that way because people want a break from shipment 24/7. Like we want small, we don't want this small. I think we wanted medium-sized maps. And honestly, this could be a conspiracy, this can be a hot take. I think that a lot of the DLC maps that are coming are, I'm gonna guess, gonna be medium to larger size because they know how small these maps are. So yeah, let's do with that information what you will.
Are you sure about that?
He says time to kill consistency does not exist. I also agree with this. I think that the hit detection mixed with the movement, mixed with a lot of different attachments on every single weapon, yeah, it's gonna be rough. Headshot multiplier too, it's gonna be kind of rough. Packet burst, yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. Game is fast, we call in streaks and throw down equipment like a 90-year-old man. I agree with this. This needs to be sped up. You call in UAVs very slow. I just can't get on board with that. You have to really stop and do that. I get it. It's kind of like symbolic of like the old times of old Call of Duty games, but those games were a lot slower than this game. So you can't have it be 1-to-1 when this game is a million times faster than COD 4 or Modern Warfare 2. And the time to call in streaks is the exact same. It doesn't work like that. He says the visibility is so poor. If you're not aimed directly at them, a big red name pops up so you will not see them. I also agree with this. Things like Derelict, I think I'm posting Derelict gameplay in the background. Yeah, Derelict, it's impossible to see. Some of the grass maps, like what's that map called? Is it Payback, I think, like on the right side of the map near, I think it's C Flag, I want to say. Yeah, it's impossible to see people there too. Like it's just rough. It's really rough, and I can't get on board with it, man. It's not fun. He says you don't even have time to shoot down streaks because you're in an engagement immediately after spawning in. Very true on certain maps. I can't say the same for every single map. Overall, I don't disagree with a lot of the things that Blame Truth is saying here. I think that some things are a little too hyperbolic and yeah, I get it. You know, he's a content creator. He's got to drum it up for the engagements and stuff like that. He's not wrong though. There's nothing you can say in what he said that is wrong. He said this is the shooter equivalent of Candy Crush. Most of the maps are shipment 24/7, but worse. Medium-sized maps would be okay, except the spawn system is so bad it still plays like 24/7. This, I'm just like kind of torn here. People complain about Red Card because it's a bad map, but also because of the spawns being so far back. when the spawns are too far back, it's complaining. When the spawns are too close together, it's complaining. When the spawns just don't make sense, like what should the spawns be, right? Should the spawns be like on top of each other? But then people aren't gonna like that, right? I feel like it's the COD community. I'm not calling Blame Truth out, but a lot of people are just gonna complain about every single little thing. It's gotta be like exact Goldilocks, like, oh, it's gotta be right in the middle. It's gotta be like just like this, like how I want it. And it's not gonna be like that, okay? It's a game for everybody. So yes, the spawns need tweaking, but at the same time, if it's super far back, if it's a medium-sized map, like look at Miami from Black Ops Cold War. That was a medium to bigger size map. Nobody wanted that, right? Like you can't blame these developers for making things so small when you didn't play any of the medium to large size map. Like back then, I guarantee they looked at the data of who voted for Miami, how many people voted for Miami, and those like bigger maps, and I guarantee that it was probably like a 5-to-1 ratio. When people voted for small maps over a large map, it was probably a 5-to-1 ratio, okay? Why would they not inherently in their next game try to make most of those maps smaller to medium size? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not defending the devs here, but I think COD players really don't know what they want. And you're going to come back in this comment section to me and be like, oh, we don't want shipment though by small maps. We don't want big maps either. We want like medium size, like Raid and Standoff. And to that I say, yes, I agree, but like it's easy to say now, right? But when you're playing Miami all day, for instance, yeah, you're going to be like, hey, I want a smaller map. And you're going to hear, the devs are going to hear a smaller map. They're not hearing medium map. They're not hearing that, okay? So yeah, I'm not trying to, dick ride the devs or anything. I'm just saying like, it is what it is, okay? When you complain, I guess you gotta be specific, or the devs really just don't know what they want. But the problem here is that the devs don't know what they're doing too. There's a huge problem. There's a lack of communication, lack of playing their own game. You can tell in this game too. But regardless, that's it for this video. Again, shout out to Blame Truth. No hate whatsoever to the dude. I like his content. I like the guy. So yeah, go give him a follow if you haven't already for some reason. And subscribe to me if you haven't as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.